Okay, welcome. So today my plan is to kind of alternate between cardio and abs. So I have kind of a section that's cardio-esque and then a section that's ab-esque. And then they alternate twice. So we'll get a little bit of back and forth. Hopefully in that way it won't make the cardio too bad, it won't make the abs too bad. It'll give us a little bit of a break in between the two. But let's start with a gentle warm-up. We're going to focus on our wrists and our neck in this warm-up, and then we'll get into a little bit more active stuff. So starting standing up, comfortable position. We're going to start with just rolling the neck. Taking little circles all the way around. If there's somewhere that feels really good and you want to pause there, you can. Nice. And then switching directions. Excellent. And then we're going to tip the head to the side, reach the arm in the other direction, and then internally and externally rotate that shoulder. And if you want more stretch, you can gently lay your hand on your head. Don't pull, just let the weight of the arm provide a little extra resistance. Yeah, and then back to neutral, and then let's do the other side. Wonderful. While we do that, I forgot to mute everybody. There we go. Excellent. All right, then let's do the wrists next. You're just going to interlace your fingers, rolling the wrists like so. It's like I'm looking at the back of my hand, and then looking at the back of the other hand. And then doing the wave, switching directions. And then this one's a little bit of a brain tease for me. You're going to interlace your fingers the other way, and then roll the wrists again. And this should just feel really funny. It always feels a little odd for me. I don't know why, but great. And then shake it out. You can flick out the fingers, get water droplets on them. You're trying to vigorously get rid of it. This helps get the blood moving to the hands. We will be using the hands, so. Perfect. Okay. So standing back up, if you're sat down like I did, I think I'm the only one. You're going to start with your arms at a T, legs comfortable distance apart. We're going to fold forward, and you're going to touch cross laterally. So left hand to right foot, right hand to left foot. And just doing about 20 of those. This is just a gentle warm up. Forward folding. You might feel this in your hamstrings a little bit. I've got two more. Nice. Nice and gentle. Okay. The next one is also pretty nice and gentle. We're going to do this a total of 5 times. We're going to fold forward using an arched body position, legs straight, hips square. I am pushing my hips back, keeping my back as arched or flat as possible, folding all the way down. When you get to the bottom, you can shimmy it out, and then bending the knees and rolling up one vertebrae at a time. And then repeating that at your own pace. So swan diving or arching forward, taking a moment, and then rolling up one vertebrae at a time. On the last one, once you've done your 5th one, go ahead and interlace the elbows at the bottom, and we're going to swing side to side. Good, and then go ahead and center back out. We're gonna do a little shoulder stretch. So you're gonna pick one arm and you're gonna reach across your body and grab the other calf. So my right arm is on my left leg right now. I'm gonna go ahead and grab, and then whatever leg is not being grabbed, so right now my right leg is not being grabbed, that leg is gonna bend and you're gonna create a little bit of a stretch behind that shoulder. Your other arm can be on the ground for balance or wherever you want it to be really. But the more you bend that free leg, the more of a stretch you should feel kind of on the back of that shoulder of the arm that's holding on. Good, and then coming back out of that. And let's switch sides. So other arm pushing across. Free leg bending. Should be the same side as the arm that's grabbing, by the way. Nice, and then come on out of that. Okay. So we're going to start with the first set of cardio. The first set is a little bit more gentle than the consecutive sets. Okay, and we're going to be working for 30 seconds for these, and you're going to get a 15-second break in between. First one that we're going to do is a shuffle and or run in place. So if you're doing a shuffle, all you're trying to do is switch which leg is in front very quickly, or you can just run in place, up to you. The second thing we're doing are lunge kicks. We're going to step back, back knee touches the floor, and then you're going to kick with that leg. We're going to do one side, and then we'll switch and do the other side for another 30 seconds. If this bothers your knee, don't go as low. You can also just do kicks if lunging is not for you today. Then we're going to do a power jack, which is a jumping jack with a squat added in. So at the top, your arms are together, your legs are together. At the bottom, your arms come down and you do a squat. Okay, so those are power jacks. And then the last thing that we're going to do, which is the hardest of this one, is a tuck jump or an inchworm, a jumping inchworm, up to you. If you're doing jumping inchworm, that's plank, and you're just going to try to jump those feet up as close to your hands as you can, and then jumping back. For the tuck jump, this is more of a handstand drill. The goal is not to go up into a handstand, but rather to land softly. So you're going to try to point your feet and get your heels to your bum each time. But I'm setting up a handstand position, shoulders over the wrists. I'm going to jump and just come down. That's it. Those are tuck jumps. So your choice for the last one. These get incrementally harder. So we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with the shuffles or the running. Go ahead and go. So either shuffling or running or shuffle running. Up to you. Almost done. Good, rest. Next were our lunge kicks. So pick one side, we'll do both sides, but pick whichever side you're going to do first. Hands can be on the hips or out to the side, whichever you prefer. Ready, set, go. Lunge and kick. Lunge and kick. Just make sure that when you step back, you're stepping back far enough that your front knee is not pushing over your toes. You don't want to tweak your knee. Good, 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're gonna do the other side on this next round. Trying as best as you can to keep your legs straight on the front kick. All right, ready, set, begin. Very nice, looking good. Try to keep your head and back straight, meaning try not to fold forward as you kick. Stay tall. Stay long through the spine. Good, rest. Awesome, looking good. All right, power jacks for next. That's the jumping jack with a squat. Ready, begin. So arms up, feet together, arms apart, squat. That's the pattern. Good, rest. Last but not least is gonna be either tuck jumps or inchworm jacks. Up to you, pick the one you wanna do. And begin. Almost done. And rest. Good work. Take a breather. And grab some water. Okay, the next set of things are going to be on the floor, and they're going to be a little less cardio, a little bit more strength exercise. So for this set, the first one is going to be downward dog alternate touches. So I'm going to move from a plank to a down dog. And when I'm in my down dog, I'm going to touch an ankle. Let's see, you can see me here. So I'm in my plank, I'm going to shift back to my down dog, I'm going to touch an ankle, and I'm going to come back. I'm alternating, I'm touching cross body, so right to left, left to right. Okay. Then we're going to flip over. We're going to do some bicycles after that. Doot, doot. Okay, so bicycles. After that, we're going to do some glute raises, which are the bridges. So feet planted, you're going to squeeze your glutes, lift the hips. If you want more challenge, you can do this with one leg lifted and then maybe alternate which leg is up. That will be added weight for the leg that's pushing. And for that one, I'll tell you when 30 seconds is up. We'll switch sides. Oh, by the way, we're doing all these for a minute this round. Then we're going to do some scissor legs. So that's these. You're clapping behind the leg. The lower you go with the other leg, the harder it is. Alternatively, you can do this with a bent knee, like so. These will be a little bit easier. Okay, scissor legs. Then we're going to do a side plank dip. These we might just do for 30 seconds on each side just because they're really hard. But for side plank, you have options. You can either stagger the feet, one in front of the other, you can stack the feet one on top of the other, or you can do an assisted side plank, such as this, with one leg down. Or if you're feeling really excited, you can lift the other leg up or even have it straight. You don't lose your balance like that. Either way, we're just doing little hip dips. Okay, and you're gonna do that on one side for 30 seconds and on the other side for 30 seconds. And that'll be our last 2 sets of this round. So, let's crank up that timer. And go ahead and get ready for the first one, which will be our plank to downward dog toe touches. Good. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. And really push through those shoulders. When I think about lifting the hips and pulling the abs up and in. This is just to generate some heat in the belly. If you're not already sweating like I am, that is. We're almost done. 10 more seconds. Good, and rest. Lovely. We're gonna flip over for bicycles for the next set. Ready, and go. Make sure you're not bracing those abs. They're still pulling down and back into the floor. Yeah, 15 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice. Glute raises are next, so our little half bridges. Remember, you can alternate which leg is lifted if you choose to lift a leg. I'll tell you when 30 seconds has passed, so you can switch. Go ahead and begin. Pushing the hips up, really squeeze that butt, and lowering back down. Or here. Really feel this one in the hamstring as well. Good, and switch sides if you had a leg up. Good, 3, 2, 1, rest. Good job. All right, scissor legs are next. So remember, you can do these with straight legs or bent knees, up to you. And we're clapping behind that thigh. 3, 2, 1, begin. And I'm trying to do a little crunch, okay? I'm trying to sit up to get a little bit further around the thigh. Of course, bent knee variation. Doing awesome. We're more than halfway there. Ten. 5, 2, 1, rest. Whew, good job. Side plank dips are next. We're only going to do 30 seconds of these. So decide which side you want to do first and begin. They're just little dips, just moving the hip down a little bit and up. You can also do these from the elbow if this bothers your wrist. Good, and pause. That was 30 seconds. Let's go ahead and flip over to the other side. All right, ready, set, and begin. So lifting up. Make sure you're not dropping into this bottom shoulder too. Good, and rest. Good job. I find those really challenging. Y'all looked like you were having a pretty easy time. That or you're just really strong, or both. Okay. If you need a sip of water, go ahead and grab one now. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what the next cardio-inspired set is going to be. We're going to start with our legs this time. We're gonna do our heel raises, and then we're gonna do toe raises. Those are each gonna be their own set. You can hold on to something for balance if you need to, but I'm just gonna do these out on the floor. Then we're going to move into leg pulses and circles. Now what I mean by that is we're gonna go to the floor, we're gonna lay on our side, and we are going to do 20 of each of the following. And I will remind you, but bottom leg is going to do 20 lifts, like little circles going forward. You're gonna do 20 little circles going backwards. You're gonna do 20 ups and downs, just little pulses. Then you're gonna do that with the top legs. 20 circles forward, 20 circles backwards, 20 circles just up. And then to finish, and we'll just do 10 of these, not 20, but you're gonna lift one leg, you're gonna try to lift the bottom leg to match without dropping the top leg, like so. I'll remind you of all of these when we get there. And the last thing that we're going to do, and again, we'll do this on each side, are side crunches. So modifications include one leg, making sure that that leg is slightly piked, so you don't want it just to go sideways for this exercise. You do want it to come forward, or both legs for a bigger challenge. Okay, so the only thing we're gonna do for time in this set are actually our calf raises and our toe raises, and everything else we'll do for number. So go ahead and stand up for our feet stuff. Okay, so calf raises, these, yeah, and you're gonna try to go quickly. You're gonna do this for 30 seconds. Ready, set, and go. Try to stay right over your own ankle. Make sure that you're not going out like that or in. Try to go straight up, straight forward. It's okay if your feet are turned out a little bit. That's totally fine. Just make sure that your knees and your toes are facing the same direction. Lost my balance. And rest. Good. Next one is going to be our toe raises. So it's this. So I'm just trying to pick up my foot as far as I can off the floor. This one makes my shins cramp. We're gonna do that. Ready, set, go. So taps, tap, 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 tap. If you lose your balance, you can also hold on to an object and tap. Ten more seconds. You can do it. 3, 2, 1, rest. Good job. That's also the muscle that I get really tired when I go hiking or something. It's always this shin muscle. I think it's from that action of lifting my toes to step down. It's always the first one to go. There's a really good massage for it though too. I can show you if anyone's interested at the end. Next is going to be our leg pulses and circles. So go ahead and lay down on the floor. We're going to be in a comfortable side position, like so. Top leg is going to be forward, knee on the floor, or you can have your legs straight. Doesn't matter, up to you. I find this more comfortable. Make sure that you are truly sideways, that you're not turning up or down. We're gonna do the bottom leg first. So that leg is gonna be nice and straight. You're gonna do 20 little circles going in the forward direction. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Once you're done your 20 forward circles, 20 backward circles. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 19, 20. Nice. Once you've done your 20 backward circles, we're going to do 20 pulses. Just going straight up and down as much as you can. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Woo. Hopefully you're feeling your adductors there. Top leg straightens. We're now just matching the legs. I am using this hand for balance. FYI. Top leg is going to lift. Now you want to stay open in the hip flexor, so really use your butt here. I don't want to pike like this. You see how I'm piking? There's a bend here in my hip. I don't want that. So just as high as you can go. Just about there for me. And 20 forward circles. Begin if you haven't. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. 20 backward circles. If balance is a challenge for you, you can also bend the bottom leg for a more sturdy support. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. Last but not least, we're just lifting and lowering the whole leg 20 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. Rest for just a second. Hopefully you're feeling this in the outer hip / glute area. Good. Last one. We're only doing 10 of these. because I think they're hard. But lifting the top leg up as high as you can, 10 times you're going to lift the bottom leg to match and come back down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that top leg up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew, good job. Flipping it over. You can just turn around, but I'm going to flip it all the way over so that I can see you and angle myself so I don't hit the couch. Okay, beautiful. All right, starting with the bottom leg. We're going to do our circles first. 20 going forward, and begin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 going backwards. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. 20 just up and down. Ready? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. Top leg straight. Lift. Keep that hip open. Squeeze that glute. 20 forward circles. Begin. 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20. Backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Pulses. You're just going up and down for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We're almost done. Last one on the side. You're going to lift that leg. Bottom leg's going to match. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. You can shimmy it out if you need to. We'll do a little stretch for that in a second. Hopefully you're feeling it. Yeah, I'm seeing people like. Okay, back to the first side. This is more of an oblique exercise, so our legs should not be doing too much work in this one, hopefully. But we're going to do our side crunches. You have the option of doing one leg or both legs at the same time. The number is still 20. So remember, option 1 is this. Option 2 is this. And for both options, feel free to push off the floor a little bit. I am trying to get my lat off the ground, but I am using that arm. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Nice. Flip it over. Other side. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good work, everybody. How we doing so far? Awesome. Cool. Next, we've got a more ab-focused set. Not that the last one wasn't necessarily, but even more so, I guess. We're going to do toes to ceiling. We're then going to do tail wags. We're then going to do hollow body extensions. We're then going to do use tiny smileys with the legs. I said with your face. And then we're going to do straddle pikes. I'll show you all these briefly, but I'll show you again before each exercise. So, toes to ceiling. It's a small sacrum lift. I'm trying very much not to brace the abs to make that happen. Tail wags, legs straight and connected, and I am shimmying the hips side to side, like a dog that's excited to see their owner. Boop, boop, boop. To make that one more challenging, do a toes to ceiling first, so the sacrum is off the floor, and then do your tail wags. For me, I have to do that on a mat because my backbone's kind of grinded to the floor, but that will turn on those abs real fast. Next, hollow body extensions. You have options for these. I like to do these with my fingertips on the floor, but we're sitting up to a V shape and extending out to hollow body. Modifications. You can be on your elbows the whole time and just work on extending the lower half of the body. Harder modifications, hands off the floor the whole time, and or trying to straighten the legs at the top, or trying to keep the legs straight. Okay, that one will depend on your pike, how closed you can be. Then small U's. You're gonna squeeze your legs together. Modification number 1, knees bent. You're just making little U shapes with the feet. Version 2, legs straight. Making little U shapes with the feet. To make this exercise harder, lower the legs, because now you're in pretty much a hollow body. Then, last but not least, are straddle pikes. The idea behind this is you're going to be in a pike, you're going to sit up and touch your toes, and then you're going to straddle and reach between the legs, around the legs, between the legs. You don't have to have a wide straddle for these. It's about the core. If you need to, you can also modify by bringing your legs to a froggy position, so bent knees, toes together. And then a tuck for the other one. So, we're going to start with 45-second sets for these. Yeah, with a little break in between, of course. Toes to ceiling is first. Go ahead and get ready. In 3, 2, 1, begin. You could definitely rest your head on the floor. It just makes it easier for me to see the timer and you guys if I'm supporting my neck, so that's why I do it that way. But feel free to just rest your head. You're almost done. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Rest. Excellent. Tail wags are next. The goal for this is to go quickly. So whichever version you decide to do, just try to go. Right, left, right, left. Ready, begin. Again, you can definitely just rest your head. But hip, 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 hip. Keep pulling those abs in and down. In and down. Try to keep the legs as straight as possible. Keyword in trying. 10 more seconds. 2, 1, rest. Nice. Whole body extensions are next. So, deciding which version you prefer to do. Ready, set, begin. Remember, you can always do the elbow version. Just make sure that you're not doing this. That's exaggerated. Even a little bit, don't launch the low back. Three, two, one, rest. Good job. Small U's with the legs. So we're gonna all do this one from the elbows. Or if you want to, you can do a supported whole body position, but begin making little U's in the air. Remember, you can do this with the bent knees, especially if you're starting to get tired. This is a good option. Or straight legs. Ten more seconds. 2, 1, rest. Straddle and pikes is the last one. So alternating on your own between a straddle and a pike position. You're sitting up around each one. Sitting up around the legs, sitting up between the legs. Begin. And this is the bent knee variation, if you prefer. It's just as effective, honestly. So. You're almost done. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Good job. Great work, everybody. You've made it through the hardest part of class. Grab a sip of water, because for the last few minutes, we're just going to do a little stretching and cool down so that we're not terribly sore tomorrow. Hi, Sam. Big boy Sam has come to say hello. He loves you. All right, let's start with stretching out the core just a wee bit. So we are going to go on to hands and knees, and we're going to do some cat-cows. So arching through the back. This should feel really nice, trying to retract the shoulder blades. And if you want to, you can even move forward a little bit, forward and backwards. Adjust where the stretch is. And then the alternate is the spooky cat. Really trying to push the shoulder blades apart. Oh, lovely. My cat's cleaning herself in the background. That's good. Indecent. Nice. And then back to neutral spine, and we're just going to do some gentle side to side, as if you have a tail and you are looking at it. Nice. And then we're going to come to a wide-kneed child's pose. So knees go wide. You're going to sit your hips down or whatever is comfortable for you. You're going to stretch the arms long. Just being here for a moment. I'm going to do a little side bend here. So I'm going to take one arm out to the side, right at shoulder height. I'm going to take the other arm to match thumb to thumb. And then I'm going to drop my chest to the floor and try to look underneath of that armpit. At the same time, I'm really trying to open this armpit and drop the armpit to the floor. Good, and then back to center, just for a brief second. And other side, so arm out, shoulder height, thumb to thumb. And look under the armpit while you try to open it and lower it to the floor at the same time. Nice. And then go ahead and come on out of there. Coming back to your hands and knees position. We're going to do a puppy pose. So I'm trying to leave my hips where they are. I'm trying not to let them come forward or backwards. And I'm going to extend my arms out in front of me. And I'm going to try to draw my chest towards the floor. I like to look towards my hands. So I'm looking at the space between my thumbs here. Getting your chest as close as is comfortable and or on the floor if you can get it. I see him. Sam is very good at this position. You can even TP the hands if you want a little bit more armpit stretch. Nice. And then slowly make your way out of that shape. We're going to come to a seated position. We're going to stretch the outside of the hips next, since we did a lot of adductor and abductor stuff today. So, version 1, bottom leg is straight and the top leg is going to cross over. Version 2, if you want more, don't have this bottom leg straight. Instead, have it tucked under. But you don't want to be sitting on your own heel. So, beside you. Okay. You're going to grab that leg and I'm pulling in. You can also bring the arm in front, but make sure that your spine is nice and tall. Don't be slouching in this stretch. Really try to use this arm that's behind you to push yourself upright, push yourself tall before you start to twist. Very nice. And while we're still on this side, go ahead and try to stack the knees as much as you can. For me, I have to literally use my hands to help. And this is about as much as I can go. Some people will be truly stacked, but that is my hip limitation. And if you still want more stretch, if this is not enough stretch for you, then you can fold forward over your legs. I'm going to stay about here, maybe a little bit forward. And again, try to stay flat backed as possible. Feel this one very intensely on the outside of my hips. On both legs, but more so my top leg. Nice. And then go ahead and undo the legs. Remember which one was on top. And shimmy it out. Just a second. And then we're going to do the other side. So the first one was this position, where you're grabbing your leg, staying tall in the spine, taking a twist. Make sure that the twist happens not from the shoulder, but from your back. So this would be incorrect. You see how my shoulder is coming forward of my chest? I'm making all of the motion happen here, and that's not really the best. Make sure that shoulder stays back, and that when I push with the arm, twist is now happening through the spine. Beautiful. And the second stretch we're going to do, just like the other side, stack those knees. Or as close as you can. And if this is not accessible, you can always be here or here as well with that bottom leg straight, just like the last one. I should have said that on the other side, sorry. And if you still need more, folding forward, but try to keep your back flat. Awesome. Then go ahead and come out of that. You can shimmy out these. Whew. That was the stretch that I was talking about earlier, by the way. So if you're wondering what that was. We are pretty much out of time, but I want to show you one more thing that is more of a relaxing thing for me than anything else. But this does require a peanut, which is this. If you don't have a peanut, you can make one pretty easily by taking a sock and putting 2 tennis balls in the sock and tying a very tight knot so that the balls can't leave the sock. And that will actually work pretty well. Same thing with lacrosse balls. Those work pretty well as well. Or smaller balls, whatever you have. Then a yoga block or a book, in my case, will do the trick. And you're going to place the book on the floor and you're going to place your peanut on top of that. And then you're going to put your head and neck right here. And you want your spine to be in the groove or between the balls if you're using a sock version. And this is very gentle. I'm not trying to push. I'm not trying to do anything crazy with my head. I'm just relaxing. And that's going to create a nice massage on the back of my neck. I'll show you what that looks like. So, got my book, got my peanut. And what I like to do is move my hair, place the peanut where I want it, and then gently lay down. Make sure everything's in hand. And that's it. It creates like a gentle arch on the neck, and our necks do bend. They're not a straight line. If you want more, or if this feels okay on your body, you can gently nod your head, yes or no. And it will apply more pressure to one side of the neck. Just make sure that that nothing feels weird here, of course. This should feel kind of like those little massage chairs with the rotating balls that go like ring or ring, like that. That's what it should basically feel like. Cool. All right, that's all I have for us today. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording.